الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا شفيع Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh to Maulana, to all the participants. Welcome to tonight's session. And
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I hand over to Maulana to continue. Amin.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم عليه. فقد قال الله تعالى في شأن حبيبه مخبرا وآمرا قولا كريما: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم عليه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, by the grace of the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we witness this beautiful month of JUMADA Al Akhira. And in this beautiful month, we find a great person and personality who is considered to be the greatest personality after the Anbiya alayhimus salam, after the Prophets alayhimus salam. He had departed from this physical world. It was this very same person and personality who was so beloved to our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that at times it is mentioned that Nabiuna alayhi Abdul Salam should go and visit him, as other companions should go and visit Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But how fortunate was this companion who our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam should go and visit himself. And this great person and personality is none other than Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that great person and personality who our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had always loved and cherished, that he had been blessed with the company of our beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who is the first Khalif in Islam. So just before I speak about Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, let's understand what is the elections in Islam, or what is the process for electing a Khalif or a leader in Islam. So in the ulama had mentioned there are four types of elections, or there are four ways for someone to become a leader. So the first one, which the ulama had mentioned, is intikhab bishura amma. The first type of election is the general election. So when we're talking about the general election, so the ulama kiram had mentioned that the general election is that election where the leaders or the tribal leaders, the scholars, and some influential people in society, they elect someone to be the leader. And if they had elected, for example, if a tribal leader had accepted someone to be the leader, then all those in that tribe will automatically accept that person to be the leader. So that is al-intikhab bishura amma, the general election. And when we're talking about the general election, we find that Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq and Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, they, from the four Khulafai Rashidin, from the four Khalifs, these two Khalifs were elected through this process of the general election. Then we get intikhab bishura khasa. It is a specific election whereby the Khalif, for example, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he selected 6 companions six Sahaba Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, and he had told them that from amongst you six people, you'll need to elect one person from amongst you all, and that will be the next leader. So Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he called upon six of the companions, and from amongst these six, they chose Sayyidina Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So that is called al-intikhab bishura khasa, which is the election which is specified. Then we get wilayatul ahad. Wilayatul ahad is when a khalif or a current leader elects his successor in his lifetime. For example, Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he elected Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu to be his successor in his lifetime. What did Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu do? He called upon some of the companions, and the companions radiallahu ta'ala anhum came, and they gave their opinion regarding Sayyidina Umar, and finally Sayyidina Abu Bakr had accepted that Sayyidina Umar should be the next leader. The last type or the last way for someone to become a leader is, for example, in society, if we find that there's corruption and the leader had left, so there's no leader at a specific point in time. So the person who finds himself suitable and he finds that he has the capability of leading the Muslims, then it is duty bound for the Muslims to accept him as their leader. So these are the four different types of elections. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu was accepted by the Sahaba Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, and by the leaders amongst the Sahaba Ridwanullahi ta'ala from the various tribes had accepted Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, whether it be from the Muhajirin, those people who migrated, and or the Ansar, the people of Medina, had all accepted Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu as the Khalif. So we always hear Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Many of us think that his name is Abu Bakr. Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu's actual name is Abdullah. Some of the ulama kiram said that before he accepted Islam, his name was Abdul Kaaba, and some had said no, his name was Atiq. So the ulama kiram had said, no, the name of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu was Abdullah when he embraced Islam. And before embracing Islam, his name was Abdul Kaaba, and the title Atiq was given to him either by his parents, or we will come through some of the hadith where the Holy Prophet had mentioned giving him the title of Atiq. So nevertheless, Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, whose name is Abdullah, he was born 2.5 years after the year of the elephant. The year of the elephant, we know the Holy Prophet was born in the year of the elephant. And why is it called the year of the elephant? We know when Abraha, who wanted to destroy the Kaaba, and he came with an army with the elephants, so that is why that year is called the year of the elephant. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala was born 2.5 years after this event of the year of the elephant. And Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, we find that he is famously called Abu Bakr. So what is the meaning of Abu Bakr? The Arabic language, Bakr actually means a young camel. Its plural is Bikar or Abkarun. So the one who has a lot of camels or has a very large or big tribe, or takes care or is an expert regarding camels, the Arabs generally call them Abu Bakr. And when you look at Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, we find that the tribe was big. At the same time, he should look after camels. So that is one of the reasons why he was called Abu Bakr, why he was famously known as Abu Bakr, as his name is Abdullah, but he was famously known as Abu Bakr. The second reason why Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala was called Abu Bakr, the ulama kiram had mentioned that if you look at the word Abu, generally we translated the word Abu as father, but in the Arabic language is very vast. So the word Abu has various meanings. The famous one, what we know, is as father. But there's another meaning to the word Abu. The word Abu means possessor, the one who possesses. And the word Bakr means first. So Abu Bakr means the first possessor. So why was he given this title of Abu Bakr? So some of the ulama ikram says because he was the first to migrate with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the first leader after the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He will be the first person to enter into paradise from the ummah of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is why he was called Abu Bakr. So we said the word Abu means possessor and Bakr means the first, so meaning he was the first possessor. And then we gave certain reasons why he's the first possessor when it came to hijrah, when he came to also when it came to giving charity. Sayyidina Abu Bakr was always first. Then the third reason why the ulama ikram had mentioned why Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala was called Abu Bakr, it is mentioned in a narration, Kunya bi Abi Bakr li ibtikari khisal al-hamida. Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala was called Abu Bakr because from the beginning he had praiseworthy qualities. It is mentioned that Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala never ever worshipped an idol, nor did he consume alcohol. And Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, whatever he done things which people were pleased with. So that is why he was called Abu Bakr, because of his from the beginning he had praiseworthy qualities. So this is one of the reasons why Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu was called Abu Bakr. So we mentioned three reasons why Sayyidina Abu Bakr was famously called by the title Abu Bakr. The first one we had mentioned was because of the taking care of the camels, as well as because of having a large tribe. The second, what we mentioned, was that he possessed the qualities of being the first in various things that we have mentioned. And the third thing, because of his praiseworthy qualities. Then we find that we find another famous title of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu was Atiq. The Holy Prophet ﷺ once said to Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Anta atikun minan nar. O Abu Bakr, you are free from the fire of hell. The word Atiq means to be free. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Holy Prophet had told him in his lifetime, O Abu Bakr, you are free from the fire of hell. Then in another narration, the Holy Prophet said, Man arada an yanzura ila atik minan nar, falyanzur ila Abi Bakr. That the Holy Prophet said, whoever want to see a person who is free from the fire of hell, then he should look at Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The second reason why Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu was called Atiq, it is mentioned, إِنَّمَا سُمِّيَ أَتِيقًا لِحُسْنِي. That Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala was called Atiq because of the beauty of his face. The third reason why he was given this title of Atiq, Summiya bidhalika li'annahu kadimun fil khair. The Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was called Atiq because he was first in doing the good actions. So we find that there's various reasons why he was called Atiq. There's actually about 9 reasons. I only mentioned about 3 or 4. Then there's another title, what is famously known as, we always say, Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So the why was Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala given the title Siddiq? So the ulama ikram had mentioned, Ya Holy Prophet said, Ya Abu Bakr, inna Allah qad sammaka as-Siddiq. So, O Abu Bakr, indeed Allah had called you Siddiq. How, what a honor for Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling him a Siddiq meaning the one who is truthful. How fortunate was Sayyidina Abu Bakr that Allah had, is calling him a Siddiq. The second reason why ulama ikram said he was given the title as Siddiq is that when the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated on the night of Mi'raj, and when Abu Jahl he went and he told for Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala that your friend claims, or he actually asked that if someone claims that he went from here to Masjid al-Aqsa, etc., will you believe? So Sayyidina Abu Bakr said no. But when Abu Jahl said, but your friend Muhammad, meaning Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, had mentioned this. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr said, then I believe in it. So because of him believing in the Mi'raj of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he was given the title as Siddiq. The other reason why he was called a Siddiq, we find that there's a hadith where the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was once upon the mountain of Uhud, and the mountain started to shake. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had told the mountain, "Be firm, for indeed there is a Nabi, there is a prophet, and there is a Siddiq." The meaning Sayyidina Abu Bakr as Siddiq, and these two shaheed, meaning Sayyidina Umar and Sayyidina Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So we find that the word Siddiq has been given for various reasons, or the title Siddiq has been given for various reasons. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr, we mentioned why was he called Abu Bakr. We mentioned three reasons why was he called Abu Bakr. Then we mentioned about three or four reasons why was he called Atiq, why was his title Atiq. We mentioned three reasons, or three reasons why his title was a Siddiq. We find that Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he had such great love for Nabiuna alayhi Abdul Salam, that and then the Holy Prophet ﷺ had such great love for Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. We know in the Battle of Tabuk, we all know the famous narration about in the Battle of Tabuk when he brought the Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu had brought his entire wealth. And when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam inquired, "Oh Abu Bakr, what have you left for your family?" So Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, "I have left Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam." Then we find that one day, on one occasion, our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ma nafa'ani malun kattun, ma nafa'ani malu Abi Bakrin." It's saying Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "No wealth had benefited me more or much as the wealth of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq." And then when Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala heard the statement from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فبكى أبو بكر وقال هل أنا ومالي إلا لك يا رسول الله. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala he started weeping and humbly said, "You are the owner of my life and my wealth." And we find in that not only the Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala loved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but he loved the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam so much, until Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala should make the statement, "Walladhi nafsi biyadi laqarabatu Rasulillahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam ahabbu ilayya an asila min karabati." So Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala say, "Walladhi nafsi biyadi." By Allah, meaning he takes an oath regarding the household or the family members of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He should say, "They are more beloved to me than my own family members." Look at the love of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, not only for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but for the household of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when we talk about Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, we talk about his khilafah. In his khilafah lasted for 2 years and 3 months. In his khilafat, we find there was various challenges. One of the main challenges we found in the beginning of his khilafah was that people started to claim prophethood, as how we find Musaylama, Saja, and Aswad Ansi. Various people started to claim prophethood, and Muslims were leaving the fold of Islam and becoming murtad. Murtad is a person who at one stage accepted Islam and then leaves the fold of Islam. So we found we found that in the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, various false prophets emerged in various parts of Arabia. As a result, Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala had to deal with these matters in the beginning of his Khilafah. Then we found that there were some people who decided not to pay zakat. They refused to pay zakat. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala had to deal with those people who refused to pay zakat. And then after this, we find a great and important task Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu had taken upon his shoulders was the compilation of the Holy Quran. We find that in the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, there was the battle between the Muslims and the false prophet Musaylama. In this battle, 70 Hufaz have become shaheed. So Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala approached Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala to tell him and inform him of what had happened in this battle, that 70 Hufaz had passed on. So Sayyidina Umar had suggested to Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala to compile the Holy Quran. And at the beginning, Sayyidina Abu Bakr said that this is a bid'ah. And then Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he spoke to him and told him what is the reason for compiling, that in the future, the people in the future will be able to have a Quran. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr finally accepts and he decides that the Quran should be compiled. And then Sayyidina Abu Bakr, being the Khalif, he called for Sayyidina Zayd radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he tells Sayyidina Zayd, and initially Sayyidina Zayd as well, he said, no, this is bid'ah. And after Sayyidina Abu Bakr and Sayyidina Umar convinced him, he decided, yes, it is important to compile the Holy Quran. And the Quran was compiled, and there was a process in the compilation of the Holy Quran. And then we found that in the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr, there was only one Quran, and that was the Quran where they have written the Quran on folios. A folio is a big leaf. So every surah was written on a leaf. So these leaves were stacked up, and that was the formation of the Holy Quran. And then we find that after Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala left this physical world, it was passed to Sayyidina Umar, and after Sayyidina Umar, it was passed to his daughter Sayyida Hafsa radiallahu ta'ala anha, and then we know it went to Sayyidina Uthman, and then Sayyidina Uthman then had refined some of the work of Sayyidina Abu Bakr, and then he had made more copies, and he had added some things, and he had placed the surahs in order, and that's how we have the Holy Quran in such an order, which was the instruction of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his lifetime, as far as the surahs and how they should be placed. So nevertheless, Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, in this time, he had all these challenges which he was facing. And we know also about the one of the first things of in the Khilafah of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was facing the Roman Empire, which was one of the big empires, or large empires of the time. And we find that Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu had sent Sayyidina Osama bin Zayd, who was the first youngest general of the Muslim army. And Sayyidina Osama bin Zayd radiallahu ta'ala anhu was about to leave, and some of the companions said to Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, you send in such an inexperienced person to lead the Muslim army. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu said that if my beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had chosen Sayyidina Osama bin Zayd to lead the army, then who is Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala not to send him? And then we find that Sayyidina Osama comes with victory, and he wins the battle against the Roman Empire. So there was various aspects which happened in the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Then we know at the end, Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he falls ill. He had a natural illness where he had as well fever, etc. And we find that he passes on at the age of 63, and he is buried next to our beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم وصلي عليه.
Jazakallah, Maulana. Jazakallah again to the participants. Just like to let everybody know that today is inshallah the final class for this year. We'll resume once school reopens in that same week, inshallah. And just whoever's traveling, travel safely, and inshallah we'll meet again next year. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.